but what's important is it's time for some potatoes. So please give a round of applause to the Hobbits.
Is this like going to clog up the whole convention right now? I mean, this looks like, my God, there's a lot of you with phones. Look at those phones.
We brought you guys all here today for a big announcement. Lord of the Rings 4! This time it's personal and exclusive. I'm Mandela. It has been 20 years since the Fellowship of the Rings. And that means that we've had 20 years to read Lord of the Rings. So now show of hands, who has read Lord of the Rings? I don't believe it. To explain yourself, you can do it. I mean, look, you got things being directed at me. I feel the sole member of this cast that has not read the book. It's gonna. I know. You're not perfect as Frodo. His name said that. It said about. Well, speaking of that, Sean, I recall that you thought when you first got the audition that it was for Phantom Tollbooth. So you sometimes look back and wish that you were instead cast as the Phantom Tollbooth? Yeah. I mean, can it both? It's just one or the other. I remember Milo. You would have been a bunch. You said really good Milo that you liked us. You know, I love that part. Yes, the Phantom Tollbooth. Anyhow, here we are now, 20 years later, having performed in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I think next year it's going to be 25 years since we started shooting. Because we went down to New Zealand in August of 1999 to start prepping, and then we started shooting in October of 99. So I think next October it's 25 years, right? True. Crazy. A quarter of a century. Well, I'm 52, so that means it's almost half of my life ago. That's the way age works, by the way. My wife and I have been married 32 years, so I'm so... You know my wife? You guys know Kristen? You know, I should have killed you. She would have been in 20 years. So we got to done Lord of the Rings, and now she's on the street like... Speaking of 20 years, 25 years, is there any chance that we might see something like, will be something Harry Potter or Friends with a big reunion special? Because I'm sure everyone here would love to see that. And we would love that. I mean, look, we have been talking about, because these 20th anniversaries have been happening over the course of 3 years, it's 3 movies. This December marks the 20th anniversary of the release of Return of the King. So we're at the tail end of a series of 20th anniversaries, and this entire time we've been talking about trying to organize something, and it just hasn't come together. So should there be a Colbert did the best, or a reason to get together? We would love a reunion. Colbert did the best one. That was amazing. Number one trilogy was pretty. Lord of the Rings is a number one trilogy. Lord of the Rings. Honestly, that was the closest thing to go. Yeah, he cares enough about it. Stephen Colbert, that he went out of his way. These people wrote it. They called us up, they put it together, they filmed it. Like, Warner Brothers, what's up? I don't method names in the video. Okay, I can't wait. I think we'll wait for the 50 years. That's the idea. Wait, with that. I think that's the try. You guys are going to stay like 25 more years. Yeah, let's make it 103, almost my 111th birthday. I don't know. Basically, just walk up a hill. Maybe just So when they were doing this, they said, look, we need the weather cover in case it rains. So would you and Dom come down to Glasgow and get a house together and just wait, and if it rains, if you work, and if it doesn't rain, you just have some time off. So rain didn't rain. It didn't rain. We got a huge case of wine and all the movies, and we blacked out the windows, and we made a movie. It wasn't just wine. We made that's true. We made a movie.
with all the same and twice a week. Somewhere in that movie, it's in Billy's flat in Glasgow. I crashed Sean Bean's car that week. I did, I reversed it into a tree, sideswiped a tree. And before I gave it back, I put a whole trout in the boot of his car. So he drove around with his car, in his car with a whole trout. And one morning, I woke up and I thought, I'm going to get the camera so I could hear Dog downstairs. And I walked downstairs with the camera and I went into the living room and he's standing against the fireplace, naked, smoking a pipe. Naked. And that happened in Twizel.
Well, I want to hear Billy's, I don't know if I know from your perspective, when we got to go to Auckland to the America's Cup regatta and they put us on the $1 billion yacht.
Yeah.
What did you think of that experience?
John, I loved it very much. we watched I think called the America's Cup. He did just say, it's a little back. Never got where a lot of rich people race their yachts. But the night I saw the most expensive yacht, it was nowhere near Chrysler. We tried to watch his name on that yacht for later production. Orlando fell asleep. I remember falling asleep. And he woke up and he said, "Where's my log line?" That's where my line came from. Yeah, that's where I said, yes.
The thing is that, you know, there's a lot of them experiences that we all collectively had, and many that we like and shared together. And we are actually a great patchwork of our individual memories. So I will forget vaguely remember and vice versa. It totally happens all the time. We don't forget a detail, and I don't remember a whole thing. I don't remember being on the yacht. I remember going up to the spire, to the whatever that tower is in Auckland. I don't remember. Of course, yeah, it's the yacht. Yeah.
It's a little bit of a Thank you. That's baller. He doesn't remember one of the many $1 billion yachts.
One of the only $1 billion yachts I've ever been on.
It was,
and we got installed, but like the movie hadn't come out yet. We weren't popular or anything. We were just sort of like, you know, what's the yacht? And we get to the yacht, and they said, "Take your shoes off." They didn't say it nice. So it's coming into focus. Take your shoes off. And we were like, "Oh, okay," because basically we're treating the country like it was our living room, like we're on the top of mountains and down in fjords and wherever you wanted. But on the yacht, take your socks and shoes off. So yeah, I remember that.
I remember because Nender said the carpet in this yacht is $50,000 a square foot. I'm something like that. And then I could just do the math. I'll try and work out square feet. Wonder how much this carpet would cost.
Elijah didn't take his socks and shoes off and he just started throwing $100 towards it. And he took his trousers off.
He was wearing golf cleats. No, but it was really cool because the way the buoys were like a kind of a diamond, they would race like this, and the only boats that would be allowed to go in the middle of what is the race course, basically the middle of the ocean, was the media ship and this yacht. And so we got to see the America's Cup, which is like, you know, televised all over the world, really, really up close. And I remember thinking that was why it was good to be in Lord of the Rings.
It's an ancient Maori way of cooking, where they dig it out of bowl, and then they take all this meat and vegetables in the bowl with hot rocks, and then the hot rocks cook the meat and the vegetables over sort of 3 and 4 hours while everybody's drinking and singing songs, and then you dig this hole back up and all the meat and the vegetables is there cooked, and that is probably my favourite.
That was very good. There's a restaurant we wanted to, which I don't think is there anymore, which was my favourite, called Koki, K-O-K-I. It was a Malaysian restaurant, and they used to make this roti, kind of a very, you know, shallowly fried bread. They'd serve it with a spiced peanut sauce, and I just lived on that. And those that you see. So What's my two favourites? But we're just about to finish the first season on Billion Dominate the World. Went to England, Scotland, California, Texas, Japan. We're going to Switzerland in a few days, and then that will be playing wherever you live. I would think sometime in the US. Great. And I hope you enjoy it. So.
Is there some piece of work you've made that you wish was talked about more rather than Lord of the Rings that you want to say something about? Because I know voice acting help plays things.
Well, unfortunately, I have to be slightly cryptic about the Friendship Volume, which is the podcast that you did together on Things to Do with Us, darling. We want it to continue. I would implore you to do a little Google search as to what happened to the Friendship Volume, and you will find out that certain criminal things occurred that we...
Not as your part.
No, we were not told. I can take notes.
It has nothing to do with taking your money, right?
Oh, it's a good t-shirt. It's a great t-shirt.
Good like that.
It is a good t-shirt. All right, good. And then in terms of projects that maybe I enjoyed people talking to me about that is not Lord of the Rings based. I did a nature show for 3 years called Wild Things, which I really like because it culturally changes people's ideas about animals that a lot of people are scared of. In fact, today, someone came over to me in line while I was standing and said, I do not kill spiders anymore because of the show. And I was like, that's the reason why I'm on the show. So the Wild Things.
I'm in a band called Geek,
Wonderful band.
and we try to make people who are scared of music not scared of music. Someone said that they were going to kill a guitarist, and then they didn't because
How do you follow that?
well, you do DJing you did, right? So that seems like a perfect segue to play records here.
There's a film I know we're talking a number of years ago called I Don't Feel Like I'm in This World Anymore. It's a great film I really love. It's Melanie Linsky and Bacon Blair directed it. I adore him and I adored the experience of making it. He loved the movie. And then on the other side, I for the last 11, 12 years, I've been producing films on the Spectrum banner. There's a movie that we produced that when people come up to me at these sort of events and reference that movie, I get very excited. Called the Greasy Strangler. If you know, you know. I beseech you to seek out the Greasy Strangler. If you haven't seen it, I'll tell you no more. It's great.
Nice. Sean. Everyone knows everything that Sean's done.
My last it dropped. I'm 52-year-old man, and I said dropped. The Rooney director's cut just dropped, I think, last week, and there's 15 minutes of additional footage scenes. And David Anspaugh, the director, called me, and I was in Cleveland or something. We just talked and cried on the phone with each other. He said they let him do whatever he wanted, and he spent months just kind of marinating in the movie. And he was telling me scenes that we found that I don't even remember shooting. And
He scored like 7 or 8 touchdowns in this sketch.
Rudy actually plays the game. No, but that's what I mean. I don't know. I actually have like things out now. I play Scrooge in a podcast of Christmas Carol. I'd say my accent is uneven, but it's really I loved it. It's fun to listen to, and I have a movie coming out. What's the date today?
Second?
Maybe today. Called
The second.
Yeah. Called The Shift. The Shift is a sci-fi movie where with Ian McKellen and
It's an F in that word, guys. There's a shift.
and there's another Christmas thing. Anyway, you know what? I barely remember anything. People come up to me and ask me to sign things, and I'm like, oh my god, like. I couldn't remember the title of the baseball movie I'm in. Who was? I remember Stranger Things. I remember Stranger Things. I have a new answer. They say you're going to be in Stranger Things. And I would say, no, I'm dead. But why couldn't they do a flashback? That should have been. That's a spoiler. To a happier time. Like, I know why they won't. Because it's going to be Hopper and Joyce. And they're not going to want a flashback to a time when she was actually not making it.
big question from looks like Gandhi.
A month ago, I went to London and saw his play. And I said the same thing, but I say to Ian at some point when I've spent some time with him, which is, Ian, if I'm as cool as you are when I'm your age, I'll be a happy man. He's just the coolest, man. He's friendly to everyone, he's kind to everyone. He has a lovely group of friends around him. He's still an incredible actor, generous, affectionate, massive hands. I mean, extraordinarily big. Like he's just soft. He should be soft. He's really soft hands. Yeah, he's a lovely man.
I co-sign.
What was it?
Yeah, this is